This initiative is about addressing the basic mathematics knowledge and skills that are lacking from students when they reach university to further studies in mathematics. At the University of KwaZulu-Natal, we use a blended approach where we have lectures and support material. A team of researchers at this university looked at the knowledge and skills that are lacking in mathematics, which prevents students from succeeding in the studies.
In an emerging country like South Africa, we're often faced with very large classes and usually poorly prepared students. As a result, the traditional teaching methods don't always suffice, as they would in other countries. E-learning is an excellent way to overcome this handicap. The School of Mathematics, Statistics and Computer Science sees e-learning as a fundamental component of our future methods of delivery of teaching. This will ensure that we have a better and more efficient mode of delivery, both of the teaching material itself and the actual teaching. We hope that this will ensure that the students have a more rewarding, complete and more effective way of learning at UKZN.
Mathematics is exciting for me because I get to have a knowledge of what's happening around me, and I get to solve problems easier.
Data was obtained mainly from email communication. Concerned students actually informed lecturers of their queries, and from those queries we gathered that certain misconceptions prevailed.
Most of the problems we found were sort of basic algebra problems. Students would force simplification and come up with nonsense, but it's as if they had to have an answer, so they forced an answer. And there were problems with just simple graph sketching, like straight line graphs and parabolas that they battled with. And so most of the problems were, I would say, in algebra. They battled with their basic algebra and simplifying, just making things up, guessing, instead of using absolute maths.
Some of the misconceptions arose in topics relating to solving of equations, for instance. In order to solve equations, students, before arriving at a trinomial, for instance, would have needed to square a binomial. And in that instant, we found cases where, for instance, a binomial like a plus b, all squared, was written as a squared plus b squared, instead of a squared plus 2ab plus b squared.
Well, we've spoken to many of our colleagues over the years, and they've also given us a lot of information about the standard errors that do occur. In marking scripts ourselves, we've also picked up what the standard errors are. And also by investigating on the web, you find that there are many places where it is indicated what the standard errors are, and even though our students are a bit different from perhaps European countries, the errors that they make are more or less the same.
So it's a long-term thing to try and fix, but we have to do it short-term because we've got to prepare them for first year and second year. So it is a difficult problem, but I think it can be done, and the students have to put a lot of effort into it. It requires effort from them more than anything else.
So by core part of our teaching, I mean that every single component, or rather every single module, will have to have e-learning as a component, and it will be the primary method of delivery of all materials to students. And in fact, students will constantly be referred to our e-learning sites for supplementary material and in fact for fundamental material in the course. So it won't be, as has been traditionally handled, where you give your normal lectures and only as an afterthought, well, if you want further information, maybe you can go to the website. The idea here is that the use of the e-learning materials is an integral part of the actual teaching. So when you're actually delivering your lectures, you actually have the e-learning materials on hand at the same time. So it's fully integrated into the mode of delivery.
And this is where we as a university tried to bridge the gap by developing online support material for our first-year students so that they have an easier transition to university mathematics. In future, we are looking at the second phase of this project, which will focus on developing core material specific to the different mathematics modules for first years.